with the LaFevre Quartet. You're listening to Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky's new home of great gospel music, 7 days a week. WSGI AM 1100 Springfield, God's Informer.
One street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold, but things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wonder what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. Times gone by, I've traded black dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Hello, hello, hello. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and here we go. It's one street over. What's happening, y'all? One street over from where you live in here in Robeson County, and in the words of Mayor Vogel, we are blessed to live and work in Robeson County, so we are blessed and highly favored. Matter of fact, we'll be talking with Mayor Vogel, I guess, next Tuesday. He'll be coming in after the county commissioners meeting, but I have a friend here now I have been wanting to have in forever. Sarah Warren is the Economic Development and Tourism Director.
Assistant Director.
Assistant Director for the city.
For the Robertson County Economic Development
There we
Board.
go.
It is a mouthful.
It is. And it's like I've got as much of it as I can here on my little notes here.
I know.
Yeah,
It's like,
okay, what is it?
It's how the business card is, too.
How long have you been here?
Yeah, well, I've been in this role since 2022, so it was a new position.
Okay.
And then I've been in the community since 2019.
Okay, because we keep bumping into each other,
Yeah.
and you're just one of the most delightful people. That beautiful
That's a treat.
smile and just so engaging. And every time I run into you out, I'm like, I got to get her on the show. And it's just that's people talk to me all the time about keeping the show booked, and it's a chore because I'm full time school teacher. I do a lot of stuff with my church, and it's a lot.
Yes.
So trying to keep all the balls in the air. And you gave me your card one time, and I had it. People say nobody keeps cards. I do because
Oh,
it's my
yes.
reminder to get in touch. And somehow or another, it got, waylaid. And I found it a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, today's the day. So
Timing
I'm so
is always,
thankful.
you trust the timing.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
absolutely. But I love what you do because you're helping us to develop our community because it is developing like the speed of light. Whether everybody wants it to or not, it's doing what it's doing. And we've got to do it well. And we want to shine the light on what's going on. I love the tourism aspect of it because like Mayor Vogel will say, those folks come and visit and then they go home.
Yes, I know.
We
He
love
has
for
been
them
a
to come and spend their money.
huge supporter, and it is unique in something because I work, right, with peers, partners within the region as
Yeah.
well as across the state. And so having that support at our county leadership level as well as our municipality level. Robertson County is incredibly unique. 11 cities, right? 11 city mayors that we work with, 11 very distinct communities, the most out of all 95 counties.
Wow.
And so, right, Knox County is right behind us. But no, it creates a really beautiful, I think the best of, right, is when we have those distinct 11 cities, but one county, right? And so,
Right.
what are those things that we pull in the same direction on? What are those overarching? And I feel like, you're naming some of it, which is absolutely the intention of having pride in our community, and then wanting our community to be a place where whether it's that rooted heritage because you're multi-generationally from here, or a transplant where you have chosen this, but you want to have that for us. And the industrial development board that I serve, it's about that economic competitiveness of a community. So what does that ultimately mean? It's
Mhm.
having work, right? It's
Yeah.
being able to support your family.
Yeah.
It's having, lodging, a stable place to stay. It's all these things that you want, your next generation, that sustainability for them, something better for them to want to be here and to stay here as well. And so, yes, for our board, tourism is a piece of that, right? It's a driver for the local economy.
I love it. And it's just, it all comes together. I mean, everybody that we talk with, had the director of schools in here earlier this week.
Yes, Dr.
And
Weeks.
the tax dollars that come in and
Ah,
what it means for,
yes.
we've got all this growth that's happening. There's never a time that Dr. Weeks is not here that we don't talk about the construction projects within the district. And same
Absolutely.
thing with Mayor Vogel, because it's a have to.
Yeah.
It's not a want.
Yeah.
This has
Imperative.
to happen
Yep.
because we've got all these folks moving in. We've got to be able to accommodate the kiddos.
Yeah.
And so what does that look like? Well, it's only by raising the influx of tax dollars that we're able to support that stuff. My kids will go, and I love teaching. Oh my gosh, it's just the best. I just love it so much. But the kids will come in and they will have gone because I'm a CTE. They compete sometimes in other areas and
Yes.
other schools, and they'll go to a school for a competition that's in a wealthy county, and they're like, Miss Vivio, you should have seen their school. It's like, it's got this, it's got that, it's got just stuff that they can't even fathom having access to. And it's driven by that tax dollar. So, what do we do to compete with that aspect as a community?
Yeah.
And you're
tourism and the role
what
in
you're
it.
doing is exactly that.
Yes. So,
Exactly that.
our commissioner, Mark Ezell of tourism here in Tennessee, his big, it's more than a catchphrase because it is his mantra. And I have seen the truth of it. Tourism is real money, right?
Mhm.
Everyone's like, tourism is fun. That's so great. And yes, it is fun. We're promoting events, attractions, and also it's bringing in real dollars, making a real impact in our community. So, and the biggest, as you pointed to, Mayor Vogel of, oh, I love visitors. Are you kidding? They come in, they spend their money, and then they go home. That truth is that our visitors are coming in, generating sales tax dollars from their purchases. They are going home, so that ongoing need, right, to support from public safety perspective, from public education perspective is not there. And yet their money remains here, and that sales tax then becomes part of our local budget, right? And that we get to use for our resident needs. So those visitor dollars are helping fund those public needs, whether it is our public safety, our public education. And so, that sounds great, but where does that actually show up? So in 2024, the state's Tennessee Department of Tourism Development does an incredible job of equipping us locally. They have a research team. That's something that even since 2022 has really grown. The data that they've been able to access and then provide us access with to equip these types of conversations has been some of that infrastructure development that we've seen even at the state level that folks are building out. But the 2024 numbers were just released in fall, and we saw that in Robertson County. You know, it's a huge number. Over $71 million in direct visitor spending happened. I know, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the, wow, that's a big number. That's looking at, again, lodging, right? Of course, when folks are coming in to stay, transportation. So as they're fueling, as visitors are fueling, shopping, dining, you know, an array of things. It's a huge number, but the real number there is that, you know, 7 million in state and local taxes were reflected because of that visitor spending, and significantly for Robertson County, $2.8 million in local taxes were generated, right? And so that's when you're talking about, that's what's impacting our local community. That's what's going back into helping to support our residents' needs. And so that's kind of on a zoomed out level, right? Like I hold that with our work, that we are directly supporting our community with visitors' real money, making a real impact. We want to continue to increase that visitor spend so we can increase the dollars that are staying in our local economy in that way. But also, I love when you zoom in, right? For Robertson County, the majority of our tourism partners are small businesses. You know, whether that is family farms, agritourism is a huge piece of the events and attractions
Sunflower
that
Festival.
bring folks to
What that has
Robertson
brought.
County.
Well done, Red River Farms.
Absolutely.
I
And,
mean-
and you think about, again, and we were having this conversation before, but of the different faces of Robertson County and different individuals in the community, and getting to see people wear so many different hats. And I think of our tourism partners and also their representation at the state level with the Department of Ag, with the Agritourism Council, and just, I know internally, as we have new folks interested in that diversification, it's a gift to be able to point towards our local subject matter experts of, hey, here's someone who has done this. Talk to them about what that path looked like. You know, we've got small business owners, so our unique dining, shopping, our boutiques, antiquing, you know, you think of all these businesses that attract a visitor, and we know the owners of them, right? They are local businesses, they're small businesses. And so in that way, it's also for Robertson County a partnership in that local economy. You know, going back, we keep talking about the both and. It's been such a beautiful conversation, I think, this morning, because it's just so many themes that we're touching on. I feel like I think a lot about in my work, and I see in the work that the board is doing, and the strategies that they are utilizing, right, to meet their mission, their goal to increase the overall competitiveness of our community. They do that through supporting our existing industry partners, through retention and expansion opportunities. They recruit new industry business, and then also tourism, right? As an economic driver, they develop that. And so I see where it is a both and, because with our small businesses, you know, I think of the holidays right now. It's like the best time. I mean, I was personally ready to start like setting up Christmas and all of that this year, like November 1st. It felt a little early. Normally I'm like a hard, like I wait until December. I mean, my family growing up, we always had a live tree, and we didn't put it up until like Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And we would decorate it. It was like, you know, a tradition. But I feel like this year I was really chomping at the bit, and I'm so excited, you know, Country Lane Christmas Tree Farm. I'm like, we've got our local. It was wonderful getting to spotlight them as the Coopertown stop in Experience Robertson County this year, and excited for folks who, went through that day to come back, right, to our community and continue to experience. But we're doing a lot of promotion around, Christmas spirit and just how magical the holidays are in Robertson County.
Mhm.
And so, yes, we're looking to attract people for the events, and we want them to shop and dine. That's exciting because we know those dollars spent with our small businesses, with our local business owners, have a higher 68 cents of every dollar remains in our community, right? And that it's why our chambers of commerce do shop local campaigns,
Yeah.
and they continue to promote. It's exciting to see that happening. We want, yes, our local residents, our local community to support this. And also, we want to bring visitors in who are eating, at our local favorites, shopping at our local favorites as well, and supporting in that way. Because when you see that difference, right, when you look at those numbers, the 68 cents that retains because they're likely, again, hiring local, they're using local vendors, that money is just remaining. That's versus like a average like 43 cents, like with that non-local. And so again, it's, we want to have those conversations so our visitors as well as our residents can make those choices, because we know it's a tight season
Yeah.
all around. Our businesses have our landscape right this year has been, as we're looking at trends, you know there's been uncertainty, and so you see families having to make different decisions, right? We're doing more with the same amount or less. And so we want to encourage folks that, as they're making those decisions, to be able to do those with all the information.
Absolutely. I love all this. And it's one of those things as we sit here and talk about the different things going on within the community, as we're kind of unpacking it. I think one of the things that everybody's going to be like, okay, you had Sarah in there. Talk to her about what's coming up. Do y'all have
Yes.
anything you're working on? Is there something? Because that's always, you see what's around you, but you see so much happening that there are things on the horizon. So is there anything that you can tell us about what's coming? Because we've got Brian coming in here at 7:30. I don't want to run out of time before we get to that, because if we
Yes.
don't, everybody's going to be chastising me. LaVern, you did not ask her. What's coming
This is-
up?
I know the
What are we
teasers.
looking at on
Yeah.
the horizon?
Absolutely. So for us, like I said, there's been a big push for holiday campaign. We're excited about that. This past fall, we actually at the county level did Experience Robertson County, which is the county's
love it.
tourism
Oh,
brand.
that's
Y'all, I mean, that's my biggest of. If you are not aware of this one-stop shop, we're looking for that to be a source of information for all things events and attractions
Yeah.
for the entire county. So definitely check out the website. From there, you're able to go to socials. There's an events calendar. You can also contact directly, explore at experiencerobertson.com through that. So if there's business listings or events you'd like to see added, or just feedback, we'd love to hear that. So that brand did a style blueprint feature in the fall. We're moving into Christmas and continuing to push and highlight that our community's attractions through meta ads, Google ads. We're targeting, right, like our demographic families. We draw a lot of families because of the nature of the events and attractions that we offer. So we're excited to really focus on lodging, kind of creating a whole itinerary, right? Like those magic weekend trips, whether it's for those emerging families, young families, whether it's weekend trips for friend groups. We're also seeing a lot of, which is kind of neat, but I'm loving multi-generational travel is another big demographic, seeing grandparents traveling with their grandkids or putting together special experiential memories, right? Instead of just gifts, you're seeing folks gifting, right? A trip or something like that. And so we're looking to also, again, continue to market to that. I'm excited because I feel like in 2026, as we're looking ahead, we're continuing. We started this conversation about the county being unique because we've got 11 cities, one county. So continue to establish collaboration and communication for those tourism assets. So since 2022, a big part of my role has been getting out to each of our communities, having those points of contact, building those relationships of understanding what are those essential events, attractions, destinations in a community, and the character, the heart of the community, the history of the community, right? So that as we're sharing with visitors coming in and they have specific interests, we can point them. We're having more conversations collectively and having opportunities to market more trails. So I love that. Experience Robertson County is an amazing annual event, right, that the Robertson County Chamber of Commerce puts on. And it, for those not familiar, it happens the second Saturday in September, but it's a self-guided tour. And there's a stop representing, the different areas of our county. And it highlights different attractions, whether it's historical landmarks, history museums, it's industry, small businesses, definitely our farms, that tobacco heritage, having families that can talk about that history within their families.
Our history specialist, Bill Jones, when he first went out on one, I think it's probably the first one, and Jordan had, invited him to go out from the chamber, and he, at the end of the tour, he said, "I didn't know what I didn't know," and he grew up here. And I think that just kind of encompasses what you learn when you tap into what goes on with Experience Robertson County.
Yes.
You didn't know what you didn't know. And that's one thing, too. We talk about my entire career has been in Nashville until I, changed what I'm doing, started doing this show, started teaching.
Always a little,
and it's amazing what I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I've lived here since 92.
I mean, always.
Yeah.
I think
I'm stunned at the things I learned
having
every
that
day.
posture of curiosity, though, of like wanting. So for us, it's absolutely for our visitor experience. I'm loving seeing a really strong shift from traditional ads that were just more of the, okay, we're doing a half a page, a quarter a page, it's going to have a logo, maybe it's going to have an image, to content-driven advertisement. And when I talk about that collaboration, it helps because it's more itinerary-driven. So it's that spirit of Experience Robertson County, but being able to tell that story and create that customized itinerary for different guests and visitors. It's something that, at the County Chamber of Commerce, which is also the Robertson County Economic Development staff, we share office space there. That's the official visitor center. And so we've got beautiful, there's signage outside, a designated tourism hallway, in Don Eden's memory and honor. Each of our 11 communities have a spotlit area with brochures, flyers.
Cool.
And so as visitors,
see this.
oh,
I
yes,
I didn't know y'all had that.
I thought about bringing some things in, but I was like, I got to invite you there.
Yeah.
So when folks in our community are, looking around, we're located on the downtown square in Springfield. They're able to come in, share about their visit. We've got a map where people pin, where they're from, and then fill out, like sharing how they've heard about us, why they're visiting, what brought them to Robertson County. But the conversation is also what they're interested in doing, right? And then we're able to curate. It's kind of like if you had, a friend come or family, and you want to show off all your favorite things, and you kind of put together like your highlight of like, okay, we're going to eat here, then we're going to go do this. We get to do that on a regular basis for visitors. And I love that we are being more intentional locally to involve our cities and our assets, our partners, right? Our farms. I'm in 2026 having a stronger collaboration of, okay, let's put together trails, for folks who are interested in history. How can we have a one-stop, all-in-one place? Okay, here are all of our museums, their hours. Here's their anchor events, depending on what time of year, the different events that you can attend connected with these historical societies. The same for our farms, right? Our agritourism of here is our seasonal, but here are all our farm markets. And we've done this in small ways. The brand has through articles and features like in Tennessee Home and Farm. We've done, spring features kicking off like a farm market trail, and our summer festivals and things like that. But we want to have this as evergreen, right? Brochures, printed brochures on our website landing page, utilizing the app, being able to have those custom itineraries. So it's exciting. It's the digital, right? Like we're using that for both and, but also the print, because we know we reach different audiences, and we want to support the way different audiences prefer to receive that information.
I love it. It's just so exciting. And I was just yesterday going through different events that were coming up in our county, and I was like blown away.
Nonstop.
And just trying to think, okay, do I have room to bring them in on the show?
Yeah.
Just so we can feature them. And so many things, again, that I did not know even existed.
Yeah.
I talk to my kiddos now because my kids all grew, they're all Robertson Countyans. They all grew up here, and this is their home.
Yeah.
And so to see them here now and me to talk about all the things that they're like, well, we didn't know that was going on. We didn't know that was going on. I had two boys that would have loved to have been a part of Robertson County Players.
Yes.
They were very theater driven. They would have
Yeah.
been fabulous in it. And they're like, we wish we'd have known about that, because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And I tell so many people, if you're a commuter, if you're somebody that you live here but you're on the road, please listen to what we have going on here at One Street Over, because you're going to learn about a community that you're going to want to engage with, and you're going to miss it. Just like the Christmas sampler last weekend.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
how many people are like, oh, I missed it? And we've got Christmas parades coming up everywhere.
Yes.
And our
Yeah.
stuff that we have going on, our Christmas parade day. I mean, there's like one that you can go to like 3 or 4 and then end up here in Springfield. And then they're going to open up Winter Wonderland. And I forget, I'm wanting to say it's the first Saturday in December, I think. I think that's it.
Early this year, with
Yeah,
the
so-
parade. And so it's exciting. And there'll be, Maddie is the real Springfield. So City of Springfield has a full-time tourism and Main Street
Yes, yes,
coordinator,
yes. Yeah.
which is unique and also funded by occupancy tax, so that hotel
Yeah.
and motel tax, like our industrial board, right? Our economic and tourism efforts are funded by that visitor tax,
Yeah.
right? For folks staying in our hotels and motels and short-term rentals. But excited to continue to watch as they announce. They've formally announced Winter Wonderland, but also, the horse-drawn carriages and some of the Christmas things. But I love that, yes, because those stacking of events. And so, again, the storytelling for us that we get to do for tourism, and that we ask our partners to do too, is when you're involved, fill that out. For me, yes, I want people to visit Robertson County, right? That's always the start. But when you talk about, building, it's, okay, you want them to visit here. You want them to spend their money. So you got to
Sure.
put that in front of them. What are the opportunities for them to buy, to eat, to experience, to play, right? Enjoy, to stay, and then extend that trip. And so, yes, it's like you can come for these back to back. And while you're here, swing over here and have holiday flavored drinks from, favorite local coffee shop, and then come for, cozy dinner at favorite spot, and then spend the night because there's so much to do. And then, the next day, here's your list of other things to extend and do. And so
I love it.
as more folks, I think those conversations, again, when we're so busy because we, have our own tasks and goals, and small business owners are doing all the things,
All the
right?
things.
So are our city officials. It's like when I think of our tourism council and that representative from each of our distinct 11 municipalities, they have different hats. I mean, Maddie, as a full-time tourism professional, still has a lot that she's navigating from the Main Street application, and that's a really exciting coming up, and looking at what doors that will open for historic downtown Springfield and the Main Street footprint. What that looks like from, in some of our communities, it's the mayor that sits on that council. And so they obviously, while they're wearing that tourism hat and are that spokesperson and volunteer, and, they're a part of all their community's events, they're also obviously doing other things. And so everybody's, got a lot going on. And so it's taking the time, right, of pulling together, because when we have the conversations, there is excitement and enthusiasm and naturally opportunities of, oh, I love knowing this is going on. When people come here, I can point them to you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't offer that, but you do. So when folks are here, this is my niche. I'm definitely going to provide this service. But, when folks are looking for this, I know, well, head on down the road and I'm going to send you. And so, we continue to look to build those relationships. And then ultimately at the county tourism level, wanting to be that big mouthpiece where it's just, anyone who has a service, offers a service that visitors participate in our community, they're a tourism partner, right? And so this is not a closed membership. This is, we're excited to get to support and brainstorm and connect resources with those individuals.
I love it. It's just all exciting and it's so good. And I'm just so glad we're out of time. It's already, I saw Brian pop in. Anything that you want to mention before we wrap up our time? And we're going to get this on. We were just talking. We're going to, every couple of months, just touch base,
That'd be great.
and just so we can kind of see what's coming up because it's a constantly changing thing.
Yes,
And
I would love that. And even bring in some panelists along, like other city contacts, other,
So we'll put
That'd
that
be
on the
great.
calendar and I'll
Okay.
reach out because now I got you in all my contacts. I got you where you need to
Awesome.
be so
Thank
we
you,
can
LaVern.
continue to roll over. So I've got to reestablish my role. Jordan for a long time, she would come in here and she got busy and we couldn't get our that stuff's coordinated with the chamber. And I've got to get whoever
Adele
I need
Watts,
to tell
yes,
them,
okay.
give them my number, tell them to reach out to me
Absolutely.
because I've got to get on a rotation with our Robertson County Chamber
Yes,
because they need to be in here once a month.
absolutely.
They really do because now we have Mandy from White House coming in once a
Yes,
month.
fantastic.
And I'm like, we got to get
I was going to
Robertson
say,
in
and
here.
getting those, I mean, again,
just getting those
unique. We've
relationships
got
started.
5 chambers of commerce. We, again,
we?
strengthened. Yeah,
In
it's
the
really
county?
wonderful. We've got our
Really?
county chamber,
Oh
White
my
House, Portland, Cross Plains Community Chamber, and Green Ridge.
Ridge.
Green Ridge. Thank
Yeah.
you, Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah,
which
see-
is a beautiful collective, right?
Yeah.
With those communities.
Oh, I always say about the Ridgetop area, it's the gateway to Robertson County.
Yeah.
Coming up the hill, it's
That's
just absolutely beautiful.
beautiful.
We got so much going
Absolutely.
on. In the words of Mayor Vogel, we are blessed to live and work in Robertson County, so we are blessed and highly favored.
Privilege.
Thank you for coming,
you,
Sarah. So
LaVern.
wonderful
I know.
for our first visit. It
Yes,
was wonderful.
absolutely.
And I'm going to let y'all make the switch.
Thank
Brian will
you.
come in, and I'll be in touch, and we'll get this going. And you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, all the things.
Yeah, I know I'll bump into you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll be seeing you out and around. Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah with our Economic Development and Tourism Assistant to the director there, and just wonderful to talk with and so much fun. I see her out all the time, and again, just you will love visiting with her. She's just such a sweetheart. But we're going to let Brian come in here. He's a sweetheart too. And another sweetheart, we're going to talk about Lee Marie for a real quick moment, and then I'm going to talk about Barry and Rebecca, of course, because I always do, because they're our longest running full-time sponsor here at One Street Over. We've got to talk about this concert. You guys got to come out and see Steve Jarrell. His band in a briefcase. He's AKO Daddy on the Patio. Y'all know he was on these airways forever. Also with Sons of the Beach, and just an excellent guy. He's going to come and he's going to perform a special concert tomorrow night in the ballroom area down in Crossroads. So if you go in Crossroads and you go down the steps, they've set up a stage down there. And it's going to be wonderful. The tickets are free. You just come in. It's one of those events where they just want to come in. Steve's going to entertain you, and they're going to talk to you about everything going on with Samaritan's Purse and the Christmas Child program that they do. The boxes are there that you can get and pack there at Crossroads, but they're wanting to raise funds to take care of the things that go along with this. You know, some of the postage maybe is not covered, but it's the follow-up with these kiddos. And so that costs money. And so that's what they're specifically raising money for. It just happens to be, they're going to be celebrating Lee Marie's birthday because her birthday's today. Happy birthday, my friend. And so tomorrow, though, she says, don't you dare bring me anything. Bring cash for Samaritan's Purse to help with this operation, the Christmas Child. So it's just a great program, wonderful program tomorrow night at Well in the Square there downstairs from crossroads. I'll tell you what, we'll talk about Barry and Rebecca in just a moment. I'm going to say hi to my friend, Brian Pulley, because I miss talking to you, man. For a while, we were hitting it every week.
I know.
Different ones have been coming in. I got a message from you. I was driving home from church. Well, actually, I guess you messaged me while I was actually teaching last night. Forgive me, y'all. I was long-winded. We had one of those situations where, you know, it's so funny. I don't get to teach enough that I feel confident about it, you know. And so when I have an opportunity to teach, I want it to go perfectly, you know. And we had a situation where our testimony needed to reschedule, so it was kind of a last minute kind of thing. And I went a little bit long. So the time step when you were messaging me, I should have been done, and I was still talking.
It's all right.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
That's all right.
I did. I went over last night. And, but I got in the car and headed home, and I looked down and I was like, oh, no. And so I texted you before I pulled out in traffic.
There you go.
I texted you.
Safely.
Yes. And, but I'm sorry it took me a while to respond, but
That's
I'm so
fine.
excited.
I was just double checking.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because we've been out and it's been good. We have been out this year more. I've been here 6 years, going on 7 now. Never had more opportunities to go speak than I have it this year with corporate partners and working with some of our partner agencies on different things and little breakout sessions and kickoffs and all the stuff that we love doing. Is part of what we do is not just to try to raise funds, which is obviously crucial to funding our partner agencies, but to educate, engage with employees, companies throughout our 9-county footprint. And so just thankful to do it this year. I have seen so many people and, I think sometimes people that we're on the internet a lot or on social media a lot, we have one perception of what society looks like or what our world looks like. And when you're out seeing this many different varieties of people in all phases of life, and when I say that, I'm saying like high up in business and some are small business owners, and then you have older people, younger people, everybody in between, just the gamut of our society. And it's beautiful to see because what I see are people trying to help and treat people with respect, and it is beautiful to see. It encourages me, gives me a little jet fuel to go do what I need to do when I see people that are wanting to get involved. So we're thankful for it, and it's been a good year. But yeah, it's been busy, but happy to do it because this is I would much rather do that than me sitting in front of a computer and talking to somebody through a screen. Yeah. So this is way better.
I love it. I love it. And I just love the work that y'all do, just connecting us. And you've brought so many good guests in here for me, and it's been wonderful. Just, things, just like I was telling Sarah, that it's so hard to keep up because there's so much going on.
There is.
And we've got some incredible.
We have a busy community, man, and they have a community that wants to help and wants to give back and wants to help their neighbor. And I think they're using letting their be in the hands and feet of Jesus out here, and we got a lot of folks that believe in that, and then you see it in their daily walk, and so it's a cool place to live, and I'm thankful to be here. So
me too. Me too. So what do we have going on with United Way? What did they send you in here to mention today?
The biggest thing we've got going on, and I shared the link under the last, and I'll do it again this time, is our Seasons of Sharing. So in the past, we have done a Give Thanks program where it was just focused on food boxes for our folks throughout our area. And there is still an element of that in there, but we've kind of opened it up. When we talk to our partner agencies, what we are hearing from them is we need people. Like we need help, volunteer help. And so in turn, we created this program called Seasons of Sharing. And basically what it is, it's going to go on through the holiday season and even through the new year. And it is opportunities for individuals, our companies, to get involved with our partner agencies throughout the 9-county footprint. So we partnered with Hands On Nashville. It used to be Hands On Nashville. Now it's just Hands On a couple years ago. They are basically the volunteer arm of the United Way now. And that was, I would say, a weak point for us. We were really good about getting out and fundraising and plugging people together and the bridge building, as you say. But I think like creating opportunities for the corporate partners we work with. I mean, some of these companies we work with are huge. They have a huge employee base, and they're like, we want to go do something. You know what I mean? And so I think that was a weak point for us. So when we went out and said, well, who is the best at doing volunteer work in the Middle Tennessee area? And it was Hands On Nashville, of course, which we all are familiar with. And so we were able to partner with them, and they basically have created this program to where if you want to volunteer, opportunities there for anybody. I don't care your physical limitations or your time or whatever it is. They are making sure that we have opportunities for everybody. So it's pretty simple. There's a link, and I'll put it under the comments. You go to the Seasons of Sharing, and if you want to just do Seasons of Sharing, United Way of Greater Nashville, just type that into Google or whatever search engine you use, and it'll pull up the link as well. But I will put it in the comment section. You go in there, and you're just going to see a page full of opportunities, and it'll have some of them are ongoing. Some of them have very specific dates and times. There'll be a number for, like, we need 4 people, we need 12 people, whatever that may be. It'll have a description as far as how labor intensive it's going to be, if you have physical limitations, what all it entails, different areas of the areas we serve as far as so we've got Robertson County, Davidson County, Montgomery County, like all over. So if you live in another place, work in another place, whatever may works for your schedule, we just want it to be a one-stop shop to get involved this holiday season. So you want to get out, get in your community a little bit. If you've got, I have 2 hours on November 20th. Hopefully there's an opportunity there for you to go do something, or your company too, which is, I'd say primarily what we designed it for, because you have, like, I'm working with a company right now, Genesco in Nashville. It's a longtime partner of ours, and they wanted to do 2 volunteer days during their campaign to provide those opportunities for their employees. And so this was able to, we sent them the links. I pulled out a couple for them. I said, hey, these may work based on your timeline. They were able to plug in, boom, we're off. And in turn, we have a partner agency who has now got a volunteer day filled that they were trying to get filled. And as you've worked in that side of things, and you know how hard it is. It's like, we have got this work that needs to be done. We're going to need X number of people probably to make this happen. Where are we going to find them? Yeah. So we're trying to build that bridge between those two, and it's ongoing through the holiday season. In addition to that, if you want to collect food for food banks here in this area, which are in dire need, I will say that, those opportunities are still there. I want to give a shout out right now, Farmers Bank, who's been with us way before I was here, and years before that. Amazing partner of ours. I had a chance to go last week. It was one of the places. They have an annual meeting in Portland, which is where they're based. And I got to go have dinner at their annual meeting and speak in front of their entire entire staff. Awesome people, just really care about their community. Been around since 1912, I believe, is what I was told their Farmers Bank has. So we're talking about a long-term local bank there. And so they have done Give Thanks for us for years. And so she's like, can we still collect food for Give Thanks? I said, absolutely, 100%. And there are other, I know, individuals around that are still doing like different type of food donations. And so if you want to do that, those opportunities are still available. If you want to do it through us, I'm going to tell you what I did. I said, meet me at United Ministries. We will unload it and put it right in there where it needs to go, because that's where it was going to go anyway for us. So, and when I talked to, Sherry wasn't there yesterday, but I talked to a lady named Tracy that was there, and she said, thank you, because we are low. That's what she told me. And I looked at their shelves. I've been in that place a million times. It was pretty sparse compared to what I normally see. And so big shout out to Farmers Bank. Local banks around here collected it, boxed them all up. We took them over there, and hopefully it'll help some families. Those opportunities are still there. So it's like, I want to donate food, and that's what you want to do. You can use us. Call me 615-780-2401, 615-780-2401. We will absolutely get you all the stuff you need and help get it to where it needs to go. So if that's something you want to do, I'll come pick it up for you. I've done that before too. We're happy to do that.
That's such a tangible thing you can do with your kiddos, because when you can go in with, like, I can take my grandkids and say, we're going to go shop for somebody that doesn't have any food. And right now, because of benefit issues, I spoke with a woman yesterday, 7 kids, and, trying to figure out, how do I navigate these waters until everything can be taken care of. And this is when I say this is a wonderful family that just have some circumstances that completely out of this precious woman's control,
right?
And working hard, and you know what I mean? And
yes.
Because people they balk at these situations. You have no idea until you get to know these people.
Or it happens to you directly, which you think, well, that'll never happen to me. I've got I got money saved here and there and that. Have a medical crisis happen to you or someone in your family, and you can see how quickly you can get there. Yes,
you better believe it, and all kinds of things that can upend the world for you. I was talking last night in my lesson. We had a situation where in 1 week, both trucks broke down, transmission, and our AC went out. The unit. I mean, we're talking easily, $10,000-$15,000 in expenses like that.
I went out this summer, my main one. We were expecting it because it was old, but it was still like, woo.
Yeah, it's expensive.
And in July, you have to replace your. I guess we could have left it at a 100-degree house, but
it's
kids went
hard.
too crazy about that. So
All kinds of things.
anything can happen, and what you're talking about, and I mentioned this last week, and I'm going to bring in Erin Acree. I'm going to line her up. She is it works with our Alice program, and I'm going to bring her in, and that's exactly what she's talking about, like the example you're using with the woman with 7 children. These people are working people. They're raising families. They're either have a house or they're paying rent somewhere. They have their children in some form of child care that they have to pay for so they can work. And then one thing happens or two things happen in a month. A transmission goes out. They have some type of health deal where they had to miss a week of work and they're not on salary. They're an hourly employee, and so they're not getting a paycheck. Just any combination you want to have. And then all of a sudden, all right, now we got to make choices. Are we going to pay our utility bill, or can I go to the grocery store? And so we're talking about the SNAP benefits. That a lot of times it's not who you think it is that are on there. It's people that may be going through just a temporary season of life, or they may be taking care of an elderly family member who's on Social Security and that's living with them. You know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of circumstances that we're not aware of. I do know this from talking to our food banks. They said for every meal they're able to provide, SNAP provides about 9. So that'll give you an idea of the ratio versus it's like, well, the food banks will take care of them. I've seen some politicians say, well, we just need our churches and we need individuals to step up in our food banks. First of all, the churches and the food banks are to the brim right now. They have been for a while. So that's not really they're already doing what they're supposed to be doing, and above and beyond what they're supposed to be doing in a lot of cases. So that's not a solution to this.
Right.
I don't know what it is. I'm not smart enough to do that. I just know what they tell me, the people that are actually doing it. Are telling me, and so they're already maxed out. They're doing everything they can, and they've been doing it for years. They've been doing their part, and so I think people look at it and they have, this is what it looks like. It is homeless people that don't work and blah, blah, blah. And this is the benefits they get. And it's so much more nuanced than that. And it's people, your neighbors that, like you said, are working hard. They're doing everything right. They're doing everything the way they're supposed to be doing it. And life is throwing some curveballs at them. And so it is our job and especially if you want to call yourself a Christian, to help those folks in times of need. And thankfully we have so many people that are willing to do that. And so I'm thankful for that, but it's not a problem that's really going to go away anytime soon. I pulled up yesterday to drop off the stuff from Farmers Bank, and there was a line out the door, you know what I mean, at United Ministries, and there's a couple people holding babies and older people and everybody in between. And so, it's a real issue. And again, I don't have this, I wish I had a magic solution, but I don't, but I know that relying on just individuals, churches, or a nonprofit is not going to cut it, because they're already doing everything they can do.
Yeah,
I know for sure that one is. That's a volunteer-run organization. They work their tail off over there. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of retired people, honestly, that are over there doing it. And they're unloading trucks, and I'm talking about it's not easy work, and they're trying to help feed people. So they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
So it takes the community, it takes the village, and United Way is building the bridges to all of those things.
Yes.
And I just love everything you said. It's just to reiterate where we are and where we got to be and where we got to keep going.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm not trying to preach, but I just
no.
We've been in it a lot,
yeah.
and I've seen. I feel like it's unfair when you say things like that about our nonprofits. But I'm not even talking about United Way. I'm talking about our partner agencies that are doing like the direct service stuff.
Right.
It's like, man, they are maxed out. You cannot ask them. And churches, like we've worked with some churches, and they're like, they have already like spent every bit of their funds that they set aside to do that type of work, and are like trying to raise more. You know what I mean? Like, because the need has already been there. They've already been doing that type of work, and been doing it for years. And maybe they don't broadcast it, but they're already doing it.
We talked a little bit about this yesterday, and one of the things that you said, I even said that we handed it over to government entities to do. And it's just like I said the same thing in regards to what we have as schools with all the paperwork and all the administration. This is what we've built. So we got to work within that.
Right.
And yes, there was a time before the government did all this that you just helped your neighbor. We're in a situation now, and I mean, I don't know anybody that won't help their neighbor, but there are some people that just kind of keep to themselves. We don't have the church. We don't have it to where everybody's involved with the church anymore.
No.
And so, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, all the established organizations, they're doing everything they can, but we don't have the pool that we used to have to pull from.
I agree
you know
with
what
you.
I mean?
No, I do.
And so that was kind of my point when we've talked about that. It's not to say, oh, the churches need to do more. We don't have the pool.
We don't.
Of what we used to have.
We don't.
And so we've handed it off to the to government. We've, same thing with education. We've built this. So it's what we got to work with. And so if we just continue to one of the things I was talking about in the lesson last night when we work with Celebrate Recovery, one of the keys they say to recovery is service of serving others.
Yes.
And people, they don't understand that. Yes, you gotta do these things. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta do personal inventory. You get with Jesus because we're a faith-based organization. But you've got to be working for others.
You do.
You need to serve because it is a game changer when it's coming to trying to get your life back on track. It just makes all the difference in the world. But so we've got what we're working with. Everybody that's established, absolutely exhausted. Like the United Ministries, our benevolence, and everybody's just worn out because they've been doing it and doing it and doing it. And now they're called on to doing it even more. So we just need everybody to step up and everybody to pour into it, man.
And it's a perfect time of year. I know people around the holidays really want to do it. And what my hope is that the people that have never participated before and get in this first right now during the holidays because they're seeing the need, and then make that something a part of your life. You know what I mean? And what you said about service is so good, not just for people in recovery, but for people just in life. A lot of times when we were focused on our own problems, like, oh man, I'm flat tire this morning, and you're just having the worst day of all time. If you're out there volunteering and serving and doing other things, I promise you will get outside of some of that because you realize, like, man, my life's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, I have, food in my refrigerator and warm bed to sleep in, and life is pretty good. It's pretty sweet over here. And so, and you're thankful for your blessings a little more. And I'm speaking for myself. I'm not preaching anybody else. This is me. So, and I know when I get outside of it, or I tend to when I get away from that a little bit, you start focusing on your own stuff a lot more and everything that's wrong in your life or whatever. But when I'm serving and when I'm out, like I'm saying, this season we've been in right now, it's been so good just because I'm just seeing and talking to so many different people that are all in all different phases of their life right now. And it's so beautiful to see. And some people are having problems and some people things are great and everything in between, but it's life. And, and I'm out in it, and it's just a really cool time because you have less time to worry about your own stuff when you're focusing on others. And so that's what you said. I think that's about the recovery piece is got to be a huge part of that. And that's amazing that y'all do that. And I think I agree 100%.
Well, and it's so funny because when I ended the lesson last night, I said, it's so funny because that's one of the key things they give you in CR is that you have to serve. But I said, if you remember the old Little House on the Prairie show, Mama Ingalls. Did you ever watch that?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm old enough to see that. Yeah.
Laura Ingalls, remember Almanzo? That was her. That was her husband. Ended up being her husband. But when they were dating, Almanzo was a scoundrel, and they broke up. And Laura was just broken, and she was hurting and all that. And Mama Ingalls came in and said, "Well, if you go out and start working and helping others, you'll forget about your own problems." And I was like, Sage wisdom there.
Exactly.
It's timeless. It's timeless.
Tried and true.
It's timeless. I do need to get my sponsor in.
Yep.
Oh, but before we do, Paul Rainey wants to know, do you know his son, Casey Rainey, who's with United Way in Murfreesboro?
I do not. That's a separate United Way, and so I hadn't had a chance to work with Casey, but
Great guy.
Yeah. If he needs it, tell him, Paul. If he needs anything, plug in, because I mean, we sometimes if a company has multiple locations across the county lines, we'll work in concert with each other. But I haven't had the opportunity to work with Casey.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, awesome.
Great family. That's my Paul's on here. He was with us last night.
Yeah,
that family. You talk about the retirees. Him and his wife are two of the busiest retired people I ever met in my life.
What would happen without our retired people who do that? I mean, I didn't realize that network of people that prop a community up until I got in this. I mean, everywhere you go, that's what you see as far as our partners go.
Well, and the coolest thing, you make those relationships, because it's when I started working at the church and worked at the Benevolence Center, opened up the relationship I have with the Raineys, Paul and Mary. and they're just some of my very best friends, you know, and they go to Mexico with us, and and it's just amazing the relationships that you build when you get out there and serve.
Absolutely.
I mean, just priceless relationships. You know, I mean, relationships you and I've built just sitting here talking about it.
Right.
I just love it, guys. Get out there, and it's 5 till, so I got to do my ad, and we're going to wrap it up. Think about anything you need.
I got one more. I got one more good thing to send people to.
Cool. And we're going to talk about, of course, Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. We talk about volunteering in the community. I just feel like I always have to touch on the fact that these two, they're in the community just absolutely getting it done. It is so beautiful, some of the things that they do. Just every time I turn around, I find out something new that they're involved with. I talk about them in conjunction with Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center a lot because the video that you see when you go to that big fundraiser in the spring, Barry is behind that all the time. And if you go to an event where they've got the tents out and the tables and stuff up in, you know, they're in Cross Plains. They're Cross Plainians. They've been there for 30 years. And so they're so involved. You'll see their banners hanging up at the baseball field and all of those things. Mm-hmm. They're investing in the community. So, you know, invest with them. If you've got something that you're wanting to talk to them about, buying or selling, first thing you need to do if you're a buyer, how much home can you afford? What can you qualify to buy? Don't start looking. You'll get your heart broke if you don't know what you qualify to buy. Do that very first. If you're thinking about selling your property and maybe you think it's worth more than it's worth, or maybe you don't think it's worth what it's worth, free market analysis. They'll do that for you so you know exactly what you're looking at, so you can make those informed decisions about selling your property or about buying property. If you've got a piece of property and maybe you've been trying to sell it, it's just not getting any movement. Mm-hmm. Do you have photography? Do you have the right videography, walkthrough tours, drone footage? Everybody wants drone footage. They've got a piece of property right now they've put up that is absolutely gorgeous. It is a 5-acre piece of property up in Cottontown. They've got the walkthrough tours, the drone footage. I mean, it's just like, wow. I mean, this piece of property is absolutely gorgeous, but you can go and look at it right now, and it won't be on the market long. These little country places aren't, but it's up in Cottontown, 358 Spring Valley Drive in Cottontown. And again, they have got it packaged beautifully, so you can really see what you're looking at. You could buy this from another state and never set foot on the property and know exactly what you're getting the way they put it out there. Barry and Rebecca, they are experts at what they do. She's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. She's been at it a long time. Barry brings all that marketing expertise from being a vice president of a media marketing company for 17 years up in Nashville. And they bring you Exit Prime Realty, the latest branch in the Exit tree. Great company to work with. If you want to be a realtor, they can help you out with that as well. You can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buyrobertsoncounty.com. Or here's Rebecca's number, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, and let them know you turned sent ya. All right, Brian, what else do we have to talk about?
One more thing. As some of you may know, there has been a Panda Express opened here in Springfield on Tom Austin Highway out there. They, as part of their opening, offered an opportunity to do one of these give back days with the United Way. So we signed up Friday, November 21st. Okay. That's Friday. Everybody goes out to lunch on Friday. You know what I mean?
Friday.
Next Friday, a week from tomorrow. You can go anytime from open to close, get you lunch, get you dinner, take home that night, don't have to cook, and part of the proceeds go to the United Way. So that's it. That's a simple deal. Just tell them that you want this. Make sure to mention United Way when you go in there. Pretty simple deal. Appreciate them for making the offer. We've had a few of these this year, more than I remember throughout our area, but appreciate them doing this and wanting to give back to their community right off the bat, because they just opened I think back in mid-October. So brand new. If you haven't been there, it's good food. It's Asian food, really good. So something for the whole family. My kids are picky and they like stuff from there, so it's really good. So go by there, tell them United Way, and part of the proceeds will come our way, which then stays right here in Robertson County and goes to those partner agencies I spoke of.
Here's my opportunity. I have never eaten at Panda.
Go for it.
So
pretty good.
I will put that on my calendar.
You like Asian food?
I love it.
There you go.
I'm a big Blue Roof fan. I love that family over there. I love them. I don't like that we can't go in anymore, but that's.
Is this straight drive-through now?
Yeah,
I haven't been there in a minute. Okay.
I miss going in there. So we went for a while. We didn't really go because we're not takeout kind of people.
Right.
But I will. But I want to try Panda Express.
Go by there.
I've never tried it. And for a good cause, absolutely.
Yeah.
Going there.
Those portion of proceeds. We had one. Had a couple of other restaurants around Nashville do it this week. So thankful for companies who want to do that. It's a great, easy way for them, I think, to help and just give a little bit of proceeds to us. So we're thankful for it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's a really cool, I think one of the coolest things is I love how it looks on the road.
Mm-hmm.
When you drive down through
Yeah,
there,
it's cool.
when we get places like that.
We're getting uptown, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Chipotle.
it's just kind of, it's giving us that little something
Little
that
something.
was missing.
I think I had a McDonald's for growing up, and Wendy's. We had McDonald's and Wendy's, so which is great. I love both of them.
We had McDonald's. We had a Sonic, I think. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Everything's so different in Mayfield,
Yeah.
but I'm just thinking about what we had and what we have now. But
Right.
I think the McDonald's, anyway, I digress. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
go by there. Friday, November
Panda
21st.
Express,
Open to
put it
close.
on the calendar. If you think about it, text me and remind
I
me.
will.
And I'll throw it back. Oh, are you going to be here next week?
I will not. I will be in Dixon County for a meeting that's early, breakfast
Okay.
meeting, and so I'll check with Catherine maybe though. But I'll text you and confirm.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
know. Text me and confirm. And if
Yeah.
you send me a reminder, we'll definitely talk about it. In case y'all aren't in here, remind me to mention
I will,
the Panda
and I'll put the
Express
link
thing.
to
And I'll
Seasons
put-
of Sharing on your Facebook.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Brian Pulley, United Way, right here in Robertson County. And we appreciate you. And
Thank you.
Thank you guys for being here. And tomorrow is Faith Friday. And I'll be reaching out and I'll let you know. We tend to bring Jack Martin in, but I haven't confirmed with him. So I'll reach out and see if Jack's available for tomorrow. And if not, it'll be a wonderful faith conversation. And I hope you'll join us here on 1100 at WSGI. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful day.